Here is part 6 of my top 100 Vita countdown. Check out the other videos linked in the description. Number 50. Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight and Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight. I loved these two games when I played the Japanese versions in 2018. The songs are all excellent and the gameplay is so fun and addictive. Now that I've played the Western releases with the English dub, I love the games even more. They may not have a traditional story mode to play through, but after I played and enjoyed Persona 5 and part of Persona 3, it's just so nice to be playing a game with these characters again. I also bought the Season Pass of songs, which had some great tracks to supplement the already excellent list of songs. Rhythm games may not be for everyone, but I just love these games. If the file sizes weren't so big, I would keep them on my Vita permanently. '49. Soul Sacrifice Delta. Soul Sacrifice Delta is one of the best examples of AAA gaming on the Vita. Facing off against massive bosses in this 3D action game was just amazing for a handheld in 2013. There were so many systems to learn and figure out, and so much content to play through. I had a lot of fun going online too and facing off with some of the tough bosses that were impossible to beat alone. The Delta version added so much content and additional bosses, and I loved the dark and tragic story that had you spending the game preparing and growing stronger to eventually take on the evil wizard Magusar. That final boss fight was so memorable. '48. Dragon Quest Heroes 2. Dragon Quest Heroes 2 is a Japanese game, and I wouldn't generally include an import game on a list like this, especially since I can't read the text, but I felt I had to include it because it's just so good. It's a Dynasty Warriors style game, but with open maps full of enemies to kill and treasure to find. The graphics are amazing, some of the best for the Vita, and even without knowing Japanese, it's still easy to figure out how to play and what to do. The game feels great to play and I really enjoyed the music. I recently hacked my Vita and downloaded the translation patch for the game. I'm looking forward to playing it again and knowing what's going on. 47. The Longest 5 Minutes. The Longest 5 Minutes was an excellent game. It's an old school RPG that boils down the traditional 30 to 40 hour length to 12 hours by cutting out the filler content and focusing on the big story events. The game is a bit too easy, but the story and characters were so charming and enjoyable that the easy gameplay didn't matter to me. This is a game especially targeted to fans of old school RPGs, who will enjoy the references to games they know and love, while also seeing the common tropes of the genre turned on their head. 46. Reverie. Reverie is a superb blend of the style of Earthbound and the gameplay of Link to the Past. Sure, it's a bit short, and not that difficult, but it's so charming and well designed. It's nice to play a game like Reverie that doesn't take dozens of hours to beat, and is just pure fun. The pixel graphics and soundtrack suited the game perfectly, and had me humming the main tune for hours after playing. 45. Fez. I love pixel graphics, and Fez has some of the best for any game I've ever played. The mechanic of spinning the world in order to find secrets and to progress is so clever. I was not able to solve all the puzzles, and I didn't even want to. I had a great time playing Fez, that forcing myself to play longer may have spoiled the experience. Whether you like challenging puzzles, or want a fun 2D platformer, Fez is both of these things. '44. Hotline Miami. Stylish, addictive, over-the-top and action-packed. The gameplay here is just brilliant. I would normally enter a level and try to take out the bad guys stealthily, which would eventually fail, and then I would approach the remainder of the level all guns blazing. Something I really appreciated was how when you die, the time to reload and start again was so short. It makes other games that make you wait to get back into the action just seem slow and annoying. I recommend Hotline Miami 1 over number 2. The levels for 2 were bigger, and so many times I got killed from an enemy off screen. Hotline Miami 1's levels were much better designed, where death felt fair, and was normally due to a mistake I made or due to me reacting too slow or not anticipating an enemy's actions. Even when you finish the game, there's still a lot of fun to be had replaying levels to get the top ranking. 43. Bastion. Bastion was one of the reasons I bought an Xbox 360 all those years ago. While I played and loved it on the 360, I much preferred having it on the go on my Vita. It was just as fun on the Vita and the graphics looked amazing, especially on the OLED screen. This top-down action game is excellent, with varied weapons to take on enemies and a solid level of challenge. The story, music and narration are highlights though. After playing the game, I went and bought the soundtrack from iTunes because I loved it so much. "42. World of Final Fantasy. As a Final Fantasy fan, I really appreciated all the bits of fan service in World of Final Fantasy, but this wasn't the only reason I enjoyed the game. In my review I talked about how the characters were a bit annoying at first, but after a while they totally clicked with me, and I found the protagonists, Lan and Rain, entertaining, and I was genuinely interested in the story. The turn-based gameplay wasn't revolutionary, even though it probably wanted to be, by having monsters capturable and stacking them on top of the characters to raise the party's strength. It was really the story and seeing all the Final Fantasy characters show up that made the game so enjoyable for me. I also really like the music and the updated versions of classic Final Fantasy songs. There is slowdown though on the Vita version, and the graphics are a bit pixelated, but it didn't spoil the game for me. "41. Pixel Junk Monsters Deluxe HD. Pixel Junk Monsters is the best tower defense game I've ever played. The cute graphics and upbeat soundtrack lull you into a full sense of security before you realize how tough the game really is. The aim is to keep your babies alive by creating and upgrading towers to kill waves of monsters, and it can be so frustrating getting to the penultimate wave of monsters and seeing one of your babies picked off and ruining your perfect run. But I enjoyed the game so much I would just sigh and hit restart. It's got some ridiculously hard trophies. I've only got one trophy in total from the game, but it's a game I still come back to, and it's one I don't intend to ever remove from my Vita. So guys, come back next week for the next part of my top 100 list. And let me know in the comments what you think so far of the list. Leave a comment below, and as always, thanks for watching.